a few ways to kit your Springfield M1A Standard or Springfield M1A Socom II. Both rifles in .308. Best round ever. Not really, but it's great. Hog hunting and deer hunting. This video is about a few things I ran into while trying to get these rifles together, what I ended up with, and why. This is actually an old rifle. The new version of that, the current version of this rifle, is referred to as the Socom 16. They both have a 16.25 inch barrel. This is the standard. It has a 22 inch barrel, and they are both just fantastic rifles. So first thing we're gonna look at, one of the things I instantly ran into is this Springfield mounting system. So this groove and the place that this bolt is screwed into, this is the mechanism the Springfield M1As use to connect scope mounts. On this model, this entire Picatinny system uses that. On the standard, I have a more traditional actual Picatinny put into that spot. This bolt goes in, and down here is that ridge from right here, but this plate side is using that ridge for stability. Now, this was the first point of contention I had with the M1A platform. Not this mount. This mount is amazing, but this is the third mount I ended up with. This is a Bassett Machine low Picatinny mount. And you can get high, you can get Weaver. I can take this off anytime I want. I can go do something else with the rifle. I can come back and put this on and it will always return to zero. Something else about this mount is Bassett Machine is a fantastic company. They're a family-run business, and when I called, I initially ordered the wrong one. I called Bassett Machine. They helped me get it sorted out and got me the one I needed, no problem. So I will say, if you're going to put optics on a Springfield M1A, save yourself some time and buy this mount. As I mentioned earlier, these were kind of two different projects. So this was my hog gun, this was my deer gun. So I'm gonna start with the hog gun. So I wanted something simple. I needed a simple reticle. I'm a big fan of aim point because it is just a red dot. I also like it because it is night vision compatible at the lowest settings. And it's a perfect fit for this rifle in particular and this model because of this long rail system. So this is all one rail on the Socom II. So I can switch this around and put night vision on this if I need to. So particularly when hog hunting and you'll have multiple moving targets, this is a fantastic sight for acquiring targets quickly and having your full field of view intact with both eyes open. The mount I'm using on this is an Arms number 17 tri-lock. I've got a Harris bipod on it with a LaRue Tactical bipod mount. So these accessories are very expensive when you're using a rifle a lot. These are well worth the cost. These are extremely tough. These are extremely well made. They're not going to break. So something that I think should be mentioned if you're trying to outfit an M1A. Pretty much every M1A is going to need a cheek rest. The slope between your optic and your stock is just too far. So that's another thing I didn't know when I started this, is that I was going to absolutely have to have one of these. Right now it's on this rifle, but I move it back and forth between the two, and I should probably just get another one. This is a Voodoo Tactical. I think it's like 16, 18 bucks on Amazon. Works great, works really well. I've also got in here this rubber piece that is a limb saver. And while that is, I gotta say the limb saver, for what it is, it's a little expensive. It's like 40 bucks, but it really does make a huge difference. I take people hunting a lot. A lot of those people aren't quite ready for the recoil of a 308. This pretty much mitigates it completely for most shooters. Something actually I do want to say about the rest. Something I do want to say about the Voodoo Tactical cheek rest. This comes with it, and when I first got this, I thought this was a little gimmicky. If you notice, these are all different rounds. This has actually ended up being one of my favorite parts of this, because when we're done hunting, we've always got, you know, win, lose, or draw, we've always got something in the chamber. And when we eject it, when we eject that last round from the chamber, we can just throw it in here and go home. And I really like that about this thing. So on the Standard, this was pretty much built just to be a deer rifle. Now, obviously with 308, you have a lot of options of things you can hunt, but I set this up for 100 to 200 yards, and I put a Vortex on it. Now, this was my first Vortex that I ever put on a rifle, and I didn't realize how much I'd love it. I didn't realize how well they're made. Now, I have Schmidt Benders, I have Leopolds, I have Night Forces, I have Trichicons. I've used all of them, and they're all fantastic scopes. Love the high-end stuff. But I'm also really enjoying this scope. I'm enjoying the other Vortex scopes I've gotten. I've actually got a Strike Eagle. I'm gonna mess this up. I think it's called a Strike Eagle. I ordered it 2 days ago. I've got another Vortex coming in for an AR-10 build that I'm working on, and it's just hard. It's hard to beat. And I wanted this to look classic as well as just kind of be classic. So, you know, it looks like a deer rifle because it is a deer rifle. This Vortex is a 4:16 by 42. 16 magnification is way overkill for this rifle, just for the kind of hunting I'm doing. But I figured I might as well get it, leave my options open for the future, so that I can leave this optic as versatile as possible. Something else I wanted to add to this for anyone who's thinking about getting into Springfield M1s, two things. First of all, these rifles are heavy. I think that's kind of well known. They are heavy, they're classic, they're a blast. I love them, but they're heavy rifles. Second, if you are not putting optics on these rifles that allow you to co-witness, which neither of mine do, my iron sights are just off the table with my optics on. If you put on an optics setup that's similar to mine that blocks your irons, make sure before you do it that you take the rifle out and sight these in anyway, so that if something ever fails on your main optic, you can just remove it and you still have your irons sighted in at whatever yardage you want. That's one of the really great things about these rifles, is the iron sights are fantastic. They're easy to adjust. They're just fun. They're just cool. And actually, I believe this, on the Socom II, this is a Trichicon front post, and I believe that that's also the case on the Socom 16. So I've probably put, I want to say probably 500 or 600 rounds through this one. This one I've put probably 800 rounds through. I've never had a failure to feed, knock on wood. I've never had a single issue with either one. Truth be told, that's a big reason I like these rifles as much as I do, is that it's like anything else. Once you have confidence in something, you like it more, you use it more, you're more successful with it. I think that's a big part of my interest in these guns, and the reason I keep using them for hunting, even though I have a lot of other options available to me. And a note on accuracy. You'll see lots of differing reports about these rifles. Some people say, you know, the Standard is a 2 MOA gun, a 3 MOA gun, etc., etc. With match ammo, on a good day, I can get 1.5 MOA out of both of these rifles. They're pretty much the same as far as accuracy goes, at least at the ranges I'm shooting, under 200 yards, up to 200 yards. And I think for most hunters, if you're looking at this as an option for a hunting rifle, it's a good one, and it's a different one. They're just cool guns.